times have changed, and I long for those days of, when people would go crazy at a show and be silly and have fun. But now, like it feels like it takes mountains to move an audience sometimes, in this current climate of, will I be turned into a meme? Will I be videotaped?
It's the Blues Rock Show with Pete Francis.
Welcome to the Blues Rock Show. Today, our guest is someone we've been covering at Blues Rock Review for many, many years. He was actually on one of the very first Blues Rock Review album samplers. He meshes blues, funk, soul. He's a fantastic songwriter. He's Kris Lager. How are you, Kris?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm doing well. It's an interesting time to be in the arena.
You could say that. Yeah, there's a lot of changes happening in the music business right now.
Yeah, and just in consumption of everything.
Well, I mean, and today there's probably more competition just for entertainment across the board than there ever has been.
Yeah, 100%. That's why, being an artist today means nobody could have fathomed what it meant to be an artist in today's world with social media and background dancers and wardrobe changes.
Yeah.
Who knew we'd be here at this point in time? Like, it's true. Every day I wake up and I'm like, what is going on?
Well, talking about that competition everywhere, it's not just, first off, it's probably as hard as it's ever been just to get shows. I mean, a lot of venues closed since the pandemic, but then you've got all these different streaming platforms. Everyone's addicted to their phone. How much do you feel that competition from everywhere?
It's changed. Like, when I started performing for people, let's see, I would have been 16, so it would have been 1998 was the first time I ever was on a stage. It was a different time. Like, people, the dance floor was like a sacred place, right? Like, people would just wild out, and it was nuts, and it was great. And now, with the advent of phones, I feel like it's changed the dynamic, everything, it's weird, but, we used to have, the oddest things happen to us, like in a bar, in a nightclub. Like, it was wild, and that is completely changed. And now, kids don't even go, it's always playing blues and roots music. I feel like the demographic has always been about 20 years older.
It's an older demographic, yeah.
So when I was 20, my audience was all 40-year-olds. And now that I'm 40, my audience is all 60-year-olds. Not all, but a large swath. And it's just kind of funny how just times have changed, and I long for those days of, when people would go crazy at a show and be silly and have fun. But now, it feels like it takes mountains to move an audience sometimes, in this current climate of, will I be turned into a meme? Will I be videotaped? So, and then imagine what it's like for the guy in the arena. That's just for the people in the stands tossing tomatoes. Imagine what it's like to be in the arena. I feel so bad for Joe Bonamassa, because he gets so much hate on a daily basis. But at the same time, he feeds the machine. So it's a weird world that we live in, where of course you're gonna it's kind of remember when U2 dropped an album on our, remember when everybody was getting iPods and stuff?
Yeah.
And U2 made you have their album on the iPod. That was the worst thing U2 could have ever done. Everybody hated it. Remember that? It was a huge big backlash. It's kind of like that with social media influencers. So if they end up in your news feed all the time, eventually you're just going to be like, what is up with this guy? And then like, so now we live in this culture and this, it's like, I could go on forever, dude. So like, it's like, you're always gonna get as much hate now, or like it's popular to hate.
Right.
You know, it's popular to talk crap.
Well, one of the things too is the algorithms on social media reward that.
Yeah.
So like
100%.
if you, from a media perspective, it pays more or you get more viewership if you're knocking somebody or making a controversial statement than just, doing everyday stories.
Something that is really hard for us to digest is that we are twisted. We're sick and distorted. Like, and we don't know it.
At the end of the day, Chris, like, we as a society are the ones to blame.
Yeah.
Because the algorithm is based off of our behavior collectively.
And the way we think of art. And like, see, once in a while we'll hear something and it's like, that's why I love music. Or you'll go to a movie and you're like, that's why I love the movies. And it's so nice when you have those moments and the human spirit rises and we become more enlightened and we become more in tune. But then you go home and you pick up your phone and you just get bombarded with who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all time, who's this, who's that, but these are just people. These are just people in the arena doing the best they can. And we got this distorted perception of what art should be and what is, when it's just people doing the best they can. Like, Steve Ray Vaughan was phenomenal. You could call him the GOAT. Michael Jordan was phenomenal, and you can call him the GOAT. But none of that matters. None of that matters. What matters is when you hear something and it connects, and you're like, I'm a human being living life. And doing we're so mean to each other.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Well, and one of the frustrating things from my perspective or a media perspective, running a website like Blues Rock Review, is we started because we wanted to promote up and coming talent and new talent.
Yeah.
And now we live in a world where follower count on social media doesn't matter as much. So it's more algorithm based. And so it's whatever feeds the algorithm. And so if an artist isn't known and you post about them on social media, it doesn't get a lot of engagement because they're not well known. They could be amazing, and if people listen to them, they would love them, but they never see the post because it wasn't getting that initial engagement to drive it. So really the system is totally against up and coming artists right now.
Yeah, unless you're willing to dump a few $100,000 on every post, or you get lucky and you get the juice, and you get the likes and it catches fire. You tie if you did an interview with Joe Bonamassa or pick your heavyweight, Susan Tedeschi, Derek Trucks, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, you're probably going to get
the likelihood is much greater that
than
it's
saying,
it's
hey,
going
I'm sitting
to
with
get
Chris Lager. It's like, who?
a bunch of views.
And I've also said this, like, musicians are like candidates. The only ones are the $1 million pushes, or as far as like the ones that are like coming into your life enough that you're like, okay, finally I've heard this guy's name. Like think about who's that guy. Like there's a lot of people like that where you just hear their name so many times, you're eventually like, okay, let's check them out. Like I think there's a number, like, and the record labels know it. Like if you give them like 8, 10 direct.
Well, and that's why as an artist, it's so important to be consistently putting yourself out there. If you get a media placement, say you get on a national talk show or TV show and you get to play a song on a national show, that's great. But it's one moment in time. Yeah. And that's not going to make you a overnight superstar and get you all this attention. I mean, it might give you a nice little bump in that moment, but it's what you do over time and showing up consistently, day after day, year after year, and really putting in the time that's really going to build an artist that fan base.
Yeah, I mean, you probably know as much as anybody because I feel like your channel's starting to, come up in my news feed more and more. So I don't know what you're doing, but or if it's just me and the algorithm, but like,
Well, and for us too, it's just being in the space.
right,
We've been doing it now for 15 years.
right,
And so when we started Blues Rock Review, there really wasn't a space for, you could say, blues rock as a genre. There was kind of the traditional blues magazines,
right,
and there was rock outlets, but there really wasn't anything for blues rock. And at the time when it started, felt that a lot of the blues outlets were not really covering these artists properly. And so that was how Blues Rock Review got started. But again, it's showing up. It's having that
yeah,
consistency and sticking with it. And I think that's with anything in life.
yeah.
You just got to keep showing up.
I know. I'm still getting used to the algorithmic reality of social media.
Well, the crazy thing is, Kris, we could go like an hour here and have a amazing conversation and a great interview, and we could think, oh, this was a really great conversation, and we put it out. But we could take a 40-second clip from this and put it on social media, and it's going to get way more views than the full interview because everyone's got such short attention spans, and everyone's just looking for the highlight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, and that's cool in some regards, but it definitely kills people's attention span. Like that's a real thing.
What do you think is the biggest challenge right now for musicians?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I only know my challenges, and my challenge is to even just plug in. Like it's hard for me to post. I really have to push myself to talk to my camera. You know. Um, so I think the hardest thing for an artist now in this is just to stay true to themselves. That's the hardest thing. Like, because you're going to be, I mean, I've been doing this for quite some time. So, like, my motivations have been rediscovered time and time and time and time again.
Right.
And I think that's the artist's journey. Like, I sometimes wonder, like, how much easier life would be if I wasn't an artist. Because, like, it's almost like I'm a fisherman. Okay, going around fishing, which is my favorite thing to do. I love fishing. But now I caught this great fish that I love, and instead of going back to the fishing hole and just fishing some more, I got to take this fish and parade it all around and post with pictures with it.
Right.
I have to now I'm a promo team for this fish, and it's like, yeah, I love this fish, but you know what I really love? I love catching the fish.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned being an artist, and staying true to yourself. And again, it goes back to the system is really stacked against the artist and anyone who wants to just do that and be true to themselves when you're living in this social media world where you're basically figuring out, well, how can I actually figure out the algorithm so people actually see and pay attention to what I'm doing?
And I don't want that.
Right.
I really don't. I really don't want to be famous. I really don't. I don't want that. But what I would want to do is not live check to check.
Yeah.
So like, and not have to be on the road So like, those are my dreams. But like, it's an insatiable beast. And we live in a culture that builds people up just to tear them down. So like, I don't want to be torn down. Like, so I don't like.
You mentioned memes and like afraid of being a meme. I mean, is that something that you consciously think about?
No, I don't worry about that.
But some artists, I'm sure, have to think about that.
20-something-year-old, that's one of their biggest fears in life. It's not mine because I'm 43. I don't care. Like, if just the fact you're talking about me, I'm like, cool. We'll come to the next show. Because at the end of the day, I just want people to come see me play and sing my songs. That's all I want. Like, I don't want to be, I don't need to be anything else. I just come and witness the magic of music because it is a real magical healing thing. And I've lived my life around trying to like catch that juice, And I feel like it's one of the only reasons why, quite frankly, I'm still walking this planet.
You've stayed as an independent artist, releasing your music
Yeah,
independently.
yeah.
I guess why has that been important for you?
Because I've always made the music I wanted. Like I've had some deals on the table. I got into a deal once at a sit out, and it's just like, well, like I think it's awesome that you're spreading blues rock, and like that's the thing that you're excited about it, and I love blues rock as well too. But I don't consider myself blues rock.
I mean, you mesh a lot of different styles.
Yeah, I mean, like only blues rock, and we'll see. Like, I'll pick on.
But like, I think of your music as just like music that makes you feel good.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. I just want to feel better. I want to forget about how shitty things are.
Right.
That's why I do it. And I don't want to compromise myself in any way, because that's my joy. So like, and in order to be successful in the blues rock world, you have to hire A, B, C, D, E, or G, or F. Like you have to hire that label, that promoter, that you go through those if you want to hit on the charts. And blues is a small enough genre. Let's be honest, where you can buy your way on the charts time and time again. Like it's not hard to do, but like, is that the way I want to live my life? And then like, I don't know. Then I have all these people coming at me. You think you're not even blues rock? You're not blues. Like I've been hearing it my whole life. Oh,
Yeah.
I know you don't think I'm what you think blues is. I know that. I'm not. I never tried to, wear that throne.
That's something that so many of the artists that we cover have heard, and that was another reason why we started this site, to embrace artists like yourself that can go in different directions with it.
Right. And honestly, if you're like artists, real artists don't think about genre. Genres are for record stores and social scenes. Genres don't exist. Like it's rhythms, it's melodies. Like we're all trying to be our most authentic self. That's another thing about genres. Like we all play. Every genre plays that game. I'm countryer than you.
Right.
I'm bluesier than you. I'm more reggae than you, or I'm more zydeco than you. Like I'm more. Like I'm more hip hop than you. Come on, like that's like I'm more streets than you. I'm more hardcore. Like everybody's jockeying over a position that doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
It's all a construct in our own distorted perception of what art is. It's not an ideal. It's not an American Idol that we worship. It's not. It's not a false god. It is what it is. It's not nobody's. It's everybody's. It's the thing that reminds us that we're spirits. We're human beings.
Right. If you could change one thing about the music business, what would it be?
Everything. Yeah, everything. One thing, just one thing. The people who run it, the gatekeepers, they don't have any ownership towards, outside of the fact that they probably, adopted the gate from their dad or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Kris, you've been in the game for a long time. You've toured a lot. You've played a ton of shows. For you, you get on stage. What's the best thing about performing for people?
Making people smile and clap and forget about their impending doom. So that's why I do it. So yeah, and it's just like having a great conversation, a good hang. People you love. It's just all that. It's skiing, it's flowing, it's painting, it's dancing, it's whatever your flow is, man. And I got lucky and I found it early, and I've gotten even luckier, and I've been managing to do it for almost 30 years. So I'm pretty, I'm a pretty lucky dude. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Kris, the first time I saw you play live, one thing that stood out to me was I saw during your set you weren't wearing shoes. And right now, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but he's not wearing shoes. Where did that come from?
I don't know. Probably just rehearsing, I think, and just realizing that like I feel a lot better with no shoes on.
You just feel more loose and comfortable?
Yeah, absolutely. And like now I've been playing tabletop, a dinner. I have it tonight here at the show, and it's just a dining room table with no legs, and so it's even like it's fun now that it's I'm incorporating my feet more into the show.
Yeah. And you've played, with a big band. Tonight we're checking you out as a one-man band. Talk about some of the challenges of playing as a one-man band. Do you enjoy that?
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's like I've always dreamt of being like a stand-up comedian, like, and I feel like it's kind of like that. It's volleying with the audience and just trying to tap into the flow and get people's attention. Like. And I don't like when I'm with an ensemble or a group or whatever. Like I feel like I can't really tell stories because I want to respect the band's time.
Are you saying like in between songs?
Because I feel like it's just important to just keep everybody flowing, and going in the same direction. So I don't really like to tell stories in a band situation. But give me a solo spot, I'll be telling stories all night long. So in that regard, it's a little bit more like exposing and a little bit more gratifying in a sense, in a spiritual sense. Sometimes, because there's few things I love more than playing music with my buddies, So like, it's something pretty magical when everybody's feeling like life's going their way and they're in the moment, and those are magical times, and I live for that. But solo show is just a different beast. It's like driving or flying a different vehicle. It's still flying.
Yeah.
Different means of transportation.
So what's next for you, Kris? Are you working on new material? Any projects? What should people know about?
Just know I'm always working. I'm always writing. I'm always trying to create. Best way to support me is join my Patreon, because I drop tracks. I try to drop tracks every week, and I got a little behind, so I've just been plugging every day. But I drop like live recordings, things I've been working on. I do this thing called a musical meditation, where I'll play drums, I'll play bass, I'll play guitar, and I just do one take and I post it. So I like doing that. So yeah. I just wrote a song with Andy Frasco that I'm gonna drop on there before anybody else, if he lets me, if he gives me permission.
Okay.
So
That'd be cool.
yeah, it's called Tumbleweed. We're trying to get J.J. Gray to sing the second verse.
That'd be really cool.
That's the plan.
Awesome.
We're working on it.
All right. Well, hopefully that works out for you. All right. Well, this is Kris Lager. I'm Pete Francis. It's the Blues Rock Show. We'll see you on the next one.